The Midnight Express. The night was draped in an inky shroud, the moon a mere sliver in the vast empty sky. I gripped the wheel of my car, its engine humming in the silence, and navigated the desolate road that stretched out before me. The only company I had was the rhythmic beat of rain against the windshield, like ghostly fingers tapping, beckoning me deeper into the darkness. I was on my way to a remote town, a place rumored to hold secrets whispered only in shadows. The locals spoke of a curse that hung over the town, a tale of vanishing travelers and spectral sightings along the highway. The bravado in me dismissed it as superstition, but now, alone on this desolate road, doubt clawed at my resolve. As I rounded a bend, my headlights caught a figure ahead, standing in the middle of the road. I slammed on the brakes, heart pounding in my chest. The figure emerged from the darkness, revealing itself to be a woman, drenched and disheveled. Her eyes were wide with terror, and her trembling hand reached out in a plea for help. Without thinking, I unlocked the door and she climbed into the back seat. Her voice was barely above a whisper, laden with fear. She said her name was Emily and begged me to take her away from this place, far from the horrors that haunted her. As I drove, Emily's story unfolded, a chilling narrative of a town steeped in malevolence. She spoke of restless spirits that roamed the woods, of an ancient curse that gripped the land. Her voice trembled as she recounted the night she and her friends had ventured into those woods, seeking adventure and thrills. They had returned, but something had come back with them. My skepticism waned as her tale unfolded. The trees seemed to press in closer, their branches like gnarled fingers clawing at the sky. The air grew colder, and a fog crept along the edges of the road, obscuring the path ahead. Suddenly, a shadowy figure loomed in the headlights, its form barely discernible in the mist. I swerved, the tires screeching against the wet asphalt. I glanced at Emily, but she was staring at the figure, her face drained of color. The figure advanced, its movements deliberate yet unnerving. It was a man, his clothes tattered, his face obscured by shadows. He seemed to glide rather than walk, moving with an unnatural grace. Emily's voice was a breathless whisper, barely audible above the rain.
It's him, the one who followed us back.
Panic surged through me, but there was nowhere to run. The road was bordered by thick woods on both sides, an impenetrable wall of darkness. The figure drew nearer, and a frigid wind swept through the car, chilling me to the bone. I could see his eyes now, empty sockets that seemed to pierce through the night. Emily's voice grew desperate.
He won't stop. We have to get away.
I floored the accelerator, the engine roaring to life. The car surged forward, but the figure matched our speed, never faltering, never slowing. Time seemed to blur, minutes stretching into an eternity. The road became a never-ending tunnel of terror, the headlights revealing glimpses of a world twisted and macabre. And then, just as suddenly as he appeared, the figure vanished. The fog lifted, the road ahead clear. Emily let out a shuddering breath, her grip on my shoulder tightening. We drove in silence, the weight of what we had witnessed settling over us. The town emerged from the darkness, its buildings looming like silent sentinels. I pulled up to a small motel, the neon sign flickering in the rain. As Emily stepped out of the car, a voice echoed in the recesses of my mind, a haunting whisper that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. "Thank you for the ride." I turned, but there was no one there, only the empty road disappearing into the night.